Hey everybody, just wanted to go through what I rather glibly call the two-step genius of Luke Donald. Obviously this is coming just after his quite wonderful result in the World Golf Championship Accenture Match Play Championship, which he won obviously. Against Martin Keimer. But I wanted to go through a number of facts first of all. Luke Donald is not a long hitter. Everybody knows that, and even in his own words, he describes himself as being as not having a modern game. That really his game is something from a different era. So you would have assumed that if he was going to win a tournament of this quality, it was going to be in a short course. That is simply not the case. The course that they played on was 7,800 yards long. It was kind of a bit of a monster, and Luke Donald only hits 261 yards on average. So really, it's a monster course, and he's one of the shortest hitters out there. And that's what I want to try and discuss a little bit here, to how he did it and how you can directly apply that then through to your own game. Just for some context, the Bubba Watson, who did particularly well as well, is the longest hitter in the world at the moment with 314 yards on average. So he is nearly 55 yards longer than Luke Donald. Now, at one stage it looked as if it might actually be his tournament because he was playing so well and pulling his way through. Now, he got into the semis. And ultimately, well, he ultimately managed to defeat JB Holmes as well, who also hits 310 yards. So these are the sort of monster guys that are out there at the moment. This whole new wave of golfers who are able to hit these huge distances, much longer distances even than Tiger. That's a good 15, 20 yards longer than Tiger's hitting at the moment. And even Martin Keimer, who's just been crowned the world number one, is hitting it on average 292 yards. So he is 30 solid yards longer than Luke Donald, and one of the big issues that they said in the run-up to the final was that at the end of the day, Keimer was going to be 30 yards ahead in each fairway, and that was going to be a huge advantage to him. And of course, it is to a very large extent. But I just want to go into a little bit more detail of how Donald plays and how he won, and why he maybe hasn't won so much over the last couple of years. This is what he said. Back in 2007, I decided to try and hit the ball a little bit farther to try and catch up with some of my peers. And I think it made my swing get off kilter. It's taken a good 2 or 3 years for it to get back to almost where I need it to be. So, in other words, he was being very heavily influenced by those characters out there. And it's difficult not to be. I think we're all heavily influenced by some of the huge distances that these guys are hitting. But interestingly, Martin Keimer said he's definitely one of the most consistent players on the tour, and I think he's probably the best in the world at the short game at the moment. I've played with Phil Mickelson a few times, and it is unbelievable what Luke is doing at the moment is a joke. Wherever he is, you know that he will make the up and down if he doesn't hole it. So, the 2 steps to Luke Donald's success are: step number 1, he plays to his strengths. He plays within himself, as it were. And I've got a little video that I'm going to show you through, where they both played the 13th, and you can see this very, very clearly. And the second step is that he has a genius short game. And as Martin Keimer clearly articulated there, it's arguably as good as, if not possibly better than, Phil Mickelson's at the moment. And with Donald having just reached number 3 in the world, and I think Mickelson is down to number 5 or 6 at the moment, that would tend to be borne out by the statistics. So this is a little bit of video that was that I let me just go back. Sorry about that. This is a bit of video from the 13th yesterday. Now, the glory shot was where Donald started to let it slip on the 10th, and he managed to get an up and down from a very tough ride, and you could look at that as the turning point. But I wanted to talk about this here, because here we are. It's a par 5, and Donald has 285 yards to get to the green. That is too long for him to try and hit one go. So look at the way he swings there. It's a very, very calm and controlled swing. Now, Martin Keimer, as you possibly saw on the fairway there, is about 20 yards shorter. And you'll notice what he does. He doesn't lash at the ball. He just hit a nice, gentle shot, and he sits it right up just in front of the green. So he's not trying to get on there. He's not taking the pressure. He's playing within himself, playing to his strengths. Now, Keimer has less distance, obviously, and this was to an extent what happened quite often during the round. Not quite as much as some of the pundits might have expected, but Keimer can easily make this. So he's at a beautiful drive, and this is his second shot. strikes it well, and as you can see, he gets it on the green. So arguably at this stage, there's almost nothing else that Martin Keimer could have done. He's 2 down at this stage, um, and manages to get it on the green. Now here's Luke Donald sitting in at the front there, and he pitches it right up to within about 3 feet, but the right side of the hole. So there's a huge level of control going on here. He's totally playing within himself. No lashing, all under control. And now Keimer has to win the hole, Keimer has to hole this for an eagle. So he could not realistically have played this any better, as I say. But Donald, he's pretty certain that from that distance, because Donald is consistently excellent at that 6 to 8 feet. What you're always trying to do within your short game is hit it to within a zone that you know that you can hole your putt. That is right in that zone for Donald, and really the way that he's putting at the moment, sort of 6 to 8 feet is within that zone. So if you can get it within that zone, you make the game vastly easier for yourself. And now what's happened is Keimer leaves it short. So really what he's doing is he's trying to hold that for the birdie, which is exactly the same as what Donald did. So he picks it up because he gets the shot, and now all that Donald has to do is to hold his. But as I say, he's got the confidence within that zone that there's no problem for him. Now the interesting thing about this is Keimer could really not have played that hole any better. He might have struck. It's a long par 5. He might potentially have got his approach a little bit closer, but that's a long ask from over 270 yards. He got his birdie. He gave himself a chance at the eagle, but Donald continues to stay level with him. Now that up and down ability of Donald is what he managed to do all week. All week long he managed to get up and down off the edge, maybe not quite hitting, against the big hitters. He wasn't able to maybe reach some of the par 5s and 2. He wasn't able to get down to some of the par 4s and 1, as that some of the holes there were drivable. Can you apply this to your game? Well, here are the 2 steps once again. The first step is playing within your game, play to your strengths. I think the key thing out of all of this is that to be aware that actually, whether you're Luke Donald or Martin Keimer or one of the big hitting boys, you have your own individual game. Luke Donald wanted to try and play. Obviously, I mean, he would dearly love, I have no doubt, to be able to hit 300-yard drives on average. But that isn't his game, and he was able to defeat a 7,800-yard course with a drive that is on average 265 yards. Now, the point is, you need to look within your own game and try and play to your own strengths. And the second thing, I'm afraid, is that you've got to get yourself a genius short game. This is one of the absolutely fundamental things that we teach within the Break Par Blueprint. There's a lot of different mental game strategies that we use so that you can play within your own game. That whole understanding of how to work yourself, how to manage the course management and self-management are what the sections that we talk about within the Break Bar Blueprint. So I hugely recommend that you click on the link down below, and look, I've been playing with this, so I've got all these different ways to do it. Click on the link down below to register with the Break Bar Blueprint. We have a 60-day money-back guarantee. Absolutely no hassle free. So you get in, you get all of the information. It's not released. You get all of the information. You get to interact with all of the other people in the forum who are doing making huge changes to their golf too. And look at this one. I've got a slow one coming in now, and I've discovered how to put applause on. And look, oh, that was a laser there. Maybe you didn't hear that. So the key point is, as I say, click on the link down below. Register with the Break Par Blueprint, and we hope to see you in the forum very soon. Thank you very much indeed.